Hi, welcome to Zaketissimo. I'm Andy and today we are starting the Brutfuner series with a limited color palette. So I'm using only the colors from one tray to color in this book. The book is Dragonology. I will link it in the description. And I swatched all my colors from this tray, and these are the only colors that I will use to color this page of this wonderful dragon. And I wanted to make him like a fruity dragon inspired by that color palette. This is the book. It's an amazing book with only dragons, multiple styles of dragons, and it's an awesome book. You also have the title of the dragon and a description of it. And I will use this book for my Brutfuner limited color palette for this series. And I'm starting with the darkest shade of green that I had in this palette, and I am starting to add the shadows because this is how I usually work, from dark to light. So I'm sketching out the shadows of the dragon on its neck, on its face, on its belly. And the paper in this book is very smooth, so it's a proper book for oil-based pencils that are a bit harder, like Brutfuner, Crayola, Polychromos. I feel like this paper would be great for these types of pencils. I think that also the Ohuhu Halawa pencils would work great in this book. I don't have them, but I saw a lot of reviews with them, and I can just imagine their texture, they are hard and oil-based pencil. When you see me grabbing something from the upper side, I'm just sharpening the pencils. They sharpened great. I used the Dale 133 sharpener. I had some issues with the pink one that was a bit shorter. Had to sharpen it a few times because the tip would break. Now I'm using this light brown for the belly, just to add the shadow to the belly, and also on the tail. I want the extremities to be pink, like the hands, the legs, and the tip of the tail. Adding that brown to the hands as well. Now I'm going with a lighter green and continuing the shadows, starting from the shadows and blending into the lighter parts with this lighter green. But as you can see, I'm not going throughout the hands or the tail, because in the extremities I would like to add the pink, also for the scales as well. The colors blended beautifully on this book. I couldn't smoosh them, to be honest, to blend them. I would just layer them, but they layered beautifully on this book, so I recommend smooth paper for these types of pencils. Now I went in with that darker green also on the wings, just to emphasize that shadow there. And also coming in with the lighter green over the darker to blend them in. So our dragon will have a green base. This was the lightest green from this tray. And I'm blending in, continuing those shadows, blending them into this lighter green. Forgot that that part of the wing would also be green, so I continued to color that in because it was on the outside. And doing the same combination of those three greens, the darkest one, the medium one, and the lighter one that goes into yellow. It was very easy to color with the Brutfuner on this paper because you can obtain such an opaque color on it because it's so smooth. I'm going now on the scales with that yellowish green, and also leaving space for the pink. And now I'm adding the lighter pink and bringing it into that yellowish green so he can look fruity. Also adding that pink into the scales. I'm putting on the tip of the scales a darker pink, and then I will go with the lighter pink to combine into that greenish yellow. And this is the lighter pink that I'm blending into that light green. Doing the same thing on the tail, bringing in the darker pink and then blending it in to the lighter pink. Also adding some texture on that tail. I tried to imitate the texture of a feather just because it looked like a feather. And then I used that brown to emphasize a bit the shadows on the belly and on the tail, on the legs, and on the inner part of the feet and the hands. Also adding the pink to the tip of the rest of the scales and a bit on the hands and legs and the feet. Now I am adding pink into his inner parts of the wings, and I want the blending to go from a pink to a bit of a brown and then to yellow. So I'm starting with pink, adding a bit of brown and then the yellow. And then I tried this combination and I liked it better with the darker pink and then the lighter pink. And then a bit of a brown. That brown was very light and more towards yellow color. And I'm doing the same combination on each section of the wing. I'm trying to make it look as much as 3D possible. So this is what I'm doing. I'm adding shadows I added the brown and then the lighter pink. And I'm just adding more pink to other sections just to have the sections look the same in the same combination. And as you can see, the colors are very easy to layer and blend. Again, you cannot smoosh them like Prismacolors or wax pencil. You can just layer them, but they worked so smooth on this paper. It was very easy to blend the colors between themselves. They build up a pretty waxy finish. You will see in the light. You will see the build up. But overall, if you fix the page with a matte fixative, I think it would solve the problem. Me personally, I fix my pages with hair fixative, so I don't have an issue with that one. I like the pages to look glossy. I added that yellowish brown into the eyes because I wanted him to have like yellow eyes. And now I'm just adding some pink to the scales where I didn't add them, to the wings, and going with that light green where I feel the need to. And now I'm starting with this butterfly. I'm doing his body with that yellowish brown, and I didn't quite know yet how I would do the butterfly. I knew that I wanted it to have red because I didn't use red on the dragon, and I had red in this tray, so I wanted to use it. So I started the wings of the butterfly with that red, and initially I wanted it to go from a red to that orange, and then add some black in those circles. But then I changed my mind after I completed the red parts and did it in another combination. And I switched to a lighter red that is going more towards an orange, a peachy orange, peachy pink red orange. And then I switched to a pink color to blend that red. And I figured that I would do some embellishments over those circles, so I stopped avoiding them and I colored over them. And then I blended into the color that I colored the body. Now I'm doing these branches with the same brown. And sometimes I grab that darker green just to add some more shadows, because I was looking at the dragon and I felt like he didn't have enough shadows, like enough of a 3D effect, so I kept adding shadows to him. And then I quickly did these leaves with that darker green. I added some shadows. They were very fast to color because I didn't spend too much time on the leaves. Like this whole page took me 2.5 hours to color, so it was a really quick one. I wanted to color this part with the greenery as fast as I could because I want the focal point of the page to be the dragon and a bit of the butterfly. I didn't want the butterfly to stand out too much because I wanted the dragon to be our star for this page. So continuing to add shadows to those green parts. And then I grabbed the lighter green and colored from the darkest to the lightest and blending them in. I felt like it would have been better if I had more bluish green for those leaves, for that greenery part, for the dragon to stand out a bit more, because now he has the same colors like that flower, and not the flower, like the leaves. But I feel like it's very cohesive this way, because we have the same color palette on all the page. Either way, it's a finished page and I really like the result, but you will see in the end that I did some mistakes from which I learned. Yeah, so now I'm coloring the flowers. I added some dark pink for the shadows, and then I'm going over with the darker pink and blending it into the lighter part. I went through the butterfly again because I felt like the color wasn't saturated enough. So I just burnished some orange and red there. And now I'm adding some embellishments, and although this is a limited color palette with Brutfuner, I wanted to add embellishments to it, so I'm sticking with the same color palette as the one in this tray. And I'm adding some glittery Posca into these dots on the scales of the dragon. And I'm adding them on the wings and on the tail, and everywhere he has scales, like on the back, on the legs, on the neck, on the body. Everywhere he has those circles. I feel like this helped a lot with the 3D effect, because after I finished the scales they looked a bit flat, so in order to make them pop out a bit, I also added some white Posca into all of the dots, just for them to look, I don't know, bubbly, like spear-like on him. And we are done with the scales. And now for the butterfly, I'm using the same green for those circles on him. I love adding embellishments with these glittery Posca. And adding some gold Unisigno gel pen on the other details on the butterfly. And a bit on the body. Also added some accents on those flowers with the golden Unigel pen. And then I grabbed some Faber-Castell soft pastels and grabbed some orange and some yellow sticked to the same color palette and blended them on the page to make a fast background. And I used these tools from Pan Pastels because they are very fast to blend the pigment into the page. Then I used a lighter orange and some yellow. I cut some pigment from the pastels onto the page directly and I just blend them with this tool. And as you can see, the pigment blends very opaque because the sponge is it's very good for this kind of technique where you want an opaque background. And I'm blending it into a lighter yellow. And here I just grabbed this tool and I wanted to lift some pigment from the paper with this Faber-Castell eraser, but I figured that it would be faster if I use my electric eraser. So I did this a few times, but then I moved on to the electric one for the smaller ones. So this is where I messed up, because if you can see in the upper part of the page I smudged that glittery green Posca with my makeup brush, which I used to remove the bits of the paper. And yeah, then I was just trying to figure out how to save this page. Currently I did not see the green smudges. I'm still doing the dots with the electric eraser, but as soon as I saw the green smudge, I tried to fix them with Posca, so this is why I added that icy glittery effect. I don't know even how to call it, but this is my technique on saving the page from that green smudge. So I just added some lines of Posca, like something was dripping from the sky, or I don't know, icy stuff. It was my fast saving method for this. I don't know how to explain what it is, but I think it looks okay. Here is Vivi again, helping me to save the page. Then I saw I also had some smudges on the lower part of the page. Add some glittery bits to the dragon. Add some white dots on the scales for them to be more 3D like. And then I saw in the corner that I had more green smudges, so I just fixed them with white Posca. And this is my completed page with my Brutfuner limited color palette. I hope you liked it. Let me know if I should continue this series with Brutfuner. I intend to color in the same book. This is the final result. Let me know your thoughts and I will see you in the next one. Take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.